The rig doesn't fail you in the bay. It fails you at 50 miles an hour, loaded with your crew on board and a call waiting on the other end. Whatever is wrong with that truck right now is already on board. Which is why, before you ever turn the key, you walk it. 5 minutes with your eyes in your hands finds the tire, the brake, the loose nut that would have found you later, the hard way. That walk is the pre-trip inspection, and it is a licensed skill the state expects you to have. The pre-trip inspection, why you do it, and what actually fails. Start with why. Of every reason to inspect this truck, one stands above all the others. Safety. Yours and the safety of every other person on that road. A defect you catch in the bay is a breakdown that never strands you, or a crash that never happens. And it isn't only on you. Federal and state rules require these inspections. An inspector who finds an unsafe vehicle can put it out of service, parked, red tagged, done, until it is fixed. So the pre-trip is two things at once, the right thing to do and the law. There are 3 inspections and together they cover your whole day. The pre-trip comes before each trip. Its whole job is to find the problems that could cause a crash or a breakdown before you ever start rolling. This is the big one. It is most of what this lesson is about. During the trip, you keep checking. Watch your gauges for the first sign of trouble. Use your senses. Look, listen, smell, feel. Because a failing part usually tells you before it quits. And every time you stop, put eyes on the critical items. Tires, wheels and rims, brakes, lights, and electrical connections. The after trip ends the day. You inspect the vehicle and you report anything that needs fixing in writing so the next driver isn't surprised by a defect you already knew about. A problem written down gets fixed. A problem in your head rides to the next call. One more en route duty, and it is an easy one to skip on an apparatus. Your load. Check your cargo after the first 50 miles. Then every 3 hours or 150 miles, whichever comes first and after every break. Securing it takes at least 2 tie-downs and 1 for every 10 feet of cargo. Hear that carefully because it is the one people get backwards. At least 2 and 1 every 10 feet, not 2 plus 1 every 10. A 20-foot length of hard suction takes 2. And there are 2 reasons to cover a load: to protect people from spillage and to protect the cargo from the weather. So the pre-trip is a walk-around with a purpose. You're not admiring the truck. You're hunting for the specific things that fail. 7 systems. Learn what breaks on each one. Start at the tires because tire problems put you out of service on their own. 2 things you can measure: pressure, and you check it with a gauge. You cannot judge proper inflation by looking at a tire or kicking it, and tread depth. Front tires need at least 4 30-seconds of an inch in every major groove. Every other tire needs 2 30-seconds, and no fabric should ever show through the tread or the sidewall. Then damage: cuts, cracks, tread separation, and bulges. A bulge means the tire is coming apart on the inside, and it can fail at any time. Check the valve stems for leaks and missing caps, and watch for mismatches: dual tires that touch, mismatched sizes, and radial and bias ply tires on the same axle. That last one is never legal. Wheels and rims. Here's the one the exam loves. Rust trails streaking down from the wheel nuts. That rust may mean the nuts are loose, so check their tightness. And anytime a tire has been changed, stop a short while later and recheck those nuts. Beyond that, no missing lugs, clamps, or studs, no bent or cracked lock rings, and no wheel or rim that's been repaired by welding. A welded wheel is not safe, period. Brakes. The drum brake system. Look for cracked drums. Look for shoes or pads with oil, grease, or brake fluid on them, because a contaminated shoe won't grip when you need it. And shoes worn dangerously thin, missing, or broken. On the brakes, you don't give the benefit of the doubt. Steering. It's a chain of parts, and it's worth knowing the order once. Steering wheel, steering shaft, gearbox, pitman arm, drag link steering arm, tie rod, out to the wheels. What you check for: missing nuts, bolts, or cotter keys, and anything bent, loose, or broken. If it's power steering, add leaking hoses and a low fluid level. Here's the number that matters. Free play in the steering wheel of more than about 10 degrees makes the truck unsafe to steer. 10 degrees is about 2 inches of turn at the rim of a 20-inch wheel. If the wheel moves more than a couple inches before the tires do, you have a problem. Suspension. It holds up the vehicle and its load, and it keeps the axles where they belong. Broken suspension parts are some of the most dangerous defects on the truck. The number the exam wants. If a quarter or more of the leaves in a leaf spring are missing, the vehicle goes out of service, and any missing or broken leaf is dangerous. Not just a quarter of them. Keep looking. Cracked or broken spring hangers, the parts that hold the spring, let the axle shift out of position, broken leaves hanging where they could strike a tire, leaking shock absorbers, cracked or missing U-bolts, torque arms, and any frame member that's loose, cracked, or broken, damaged or leaking air suspension. The suspension is what stands between the load and the road. Treat a crack in it seriously. Exhaust. This one isn't about the ride, it's about what you're breathing. A broken exhaust system can leak poison fumes straight into the cab. Look for loose, broken, or missing exhaust pipes, mufflers, tailpipes, or mounting brackets. And anything leaking or rubbing against a tire or the fuel system. Last system, and it's the one people blank on, emergency equipment. Every vehicle carries 3 things: a fire extinguisher, properly mounted and properly charged, 3 red reflective warning triangles, and spare electrical fuses, unless your rig runs circuit breakers instead. Extinguisher, 3 triangles, spare fuses. And 1 more number to carry, because the test can come at this from the other side. Along with the 3 triangles, the material also lists 3 liquid burning flares as an accepted warning device. So the count is 3 either way. 3 triangles or 3 flares. Learn both, and you can't be tricked by which one they ask for. One phrase came up twice on this walk-around. Out of service. Bad tires can put the rig out of service on their own. A leaf spring down a quarter of its leaves does the same. That phrase isn't a punishment. It's the truck getting stopped before it fails on the road with your crew on board. Finding it in the bay is the whole point. Here's what to burn into memory from this lesson. This lesson in one screen. Why you inspect safety for you and everyone else on the road, and an unsafe truck gets pulled out of service. 3 inspections. Before the trip, during it, and after. During the trip, you watch the gauges and use your senses. And the failure points, system by system. Tires, wheels, brakes, steering, suspension, exhaust, and your emergency equipment. Know what fails and you know what to hunt for. This is the Georgia Class F course, developed by Georgia firefighters, for the ones coming up behind them. If this helped, like the video and subscribe. The whole course is on the channel page, in order and free. When you're ready, there's a full practice test linked below. Bring the rig home safe.